very proud of my boys tonight. They gave everything they had to give. In the end, we couldn't really control the ball enough in the second half in particular, and particularly from the set piece, to give ourselves the platform to go at them. And that's what we'd have to do. You know, we were going to have to score tries to beat Leicester, and we couldn't get that platform in the second half. But the boys kept going. I thought in the first half, you know, we had them on the ropes a little bit. We missed a couple of opportunities. I thought the second try as well. You know, I thought Waldron was off his feet when he moved that ball, but there we are. You know, some of those calls go for you, sometimes they don't, and that was pretty significant in terms of how the game was going at the time.
Significant enough to change the course of the game, or was it going that way anyway?
Well, who knows? You know, I think certainly they put a spring in their step and added to their momentum. But more importantly, you know, I can't control that. We can't control it as a team. Felt we had opportunities in the first half where we should have scored the half chances that we created. And when you don't do that against a side like Leicester, those things will come back and haunt you, and they did.
Soft penalty at the start of the second half must have been really disappointing. I was going to see them take the win completely out of the team. Tails kind of came.
Yeah, it did a little bit, and you know, games like that they hinge on a couple of key moments. I thought that was probably one, and I said the second try was another. But once they got some momentum, it was very difficult to stop, and we couldn't secure our own line-out ball. We were under immense pressure at the scrum, and that was probably the telling factor at the end of the day. I thought in the first half physically we were right up there with them. You know, we got stuck into them, and you know, at times I thought, you know, they looked vulnerable.
Did you feel two sides of the fence, probably? They have this kind of depth, so they can go on and seem to add or just reinforce what they do?
Well, they've got a very strong squad, you know, we can't deny that, but we're building a very strong squad here as well. We haven't got as much experience as them, and you know, you would take our two props, one has just turned 20, the other's 18. You're going to learn a hell of a lot from that experience, and that's great. You know, on this side it's only going to get better, but we certainly couldn't match their experience. Well, we're still in the fight. You know, we've got a very difficult place to win and get a result to give ourselves any chance. But we're still in it, and you know, for us to be going into the last game of the Heineken Cup with an opportunity to you know, either qualify for the Heineken Cup itself or the Amelin is huge for us. So you know, certainly we've got everything to play for. We're a bit bruised and a bit down because you know, the boys built themselves up for this game. But they have 2 days off, and by the time they come back, you know, we'll bounce back as we have all season. We've reacted well to the losses we've had this season, and the team know, you know, they'll know themselves as individuals and collectively that we give Leicester a run for their money.
No, as you said yourself, that you could give them pretty big problems at front, especially in the first half. Can you just explain why you took off Simon Gardner and Bernard Cooper when you did? You ran a pretty big play and the game was going on.
The guys had given everything they had to give, and you know, they couldn't give any more. We just had to try and re-energise that area. We could only ask them to do so much, and Gardner is a very young man. You know, he's still developing, and we need to look after him. And you know, he was blowing, so we just had to re-energise the group.
Actually, just going back to the Waldron incident, were you surprised that the officials missed it? There was a lot of people in the crowds.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, the one thing that I spoke to Alan Roland before the game, and the one thing he's particularly keen on is people staying on their feet, and when they're off their feet, they're out of the game. So we were delighted with that. But then that moment, sort of, where I felt he was off his feet, I was in line with the touch judge. But you know, there we are. There's nothing. I can't control that. We can't control that. There were areas of the game that we could have controlled and we didn't, and we couldn't. It's a calf strain, so it's anything between 2 and 6 weeks.
The Six Nations squad next week.
I thought Josh was outstanding today. You know, he's a machine. He just doesn't stop. He was everywhere. His contribution was massive. But I also thought Rob McCusker, you know, another one of our younger players, came through well today. But Josh, star choice.